Hey everybody, live at AAHOACON 2024. Love being here with all of my hospitality friends. I found my friend Mike Chuma here of Ideas. And Mike, what I really love about this conference is how great it is bringing everybody together.
I love it. We love it because it allows us to get in and amongst the independent-minded hoteliers, listen to the conversations they're having, listen to their needs in the industry. This morning's opening session was pretty enlightening in terms of how the industry has moved through the pains that they had at the pandemic, but they're also really starting to drive a very strategic conversation within the U.S. government and advocating for themselves and showing the power that AAHOA has as an industry.
That's awesome. So we're going to take a little walk and talk about this. And it's really true. I mean, they've got a lot of power in this industry. And what I like about this organization is that they can drive change. Yeah. Right, Mike?
Yeah, I think they can drive a large amount of change and do it in a way that really helps the bottom line of the independent hotelier. From labor standards, from the ability to help understand technology, and then also advocating for the right type of financing and structure.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So, but one of the other issues that we see is trying to generate that revenue, right? Expenses continue to climb, and hoteliers have got to get more creative about how they can send more money to the bottom line, right?
Yeah, I think they're really starting to, it's been a focus of the industry. How do we handle the labor cost increase, financing, the cost of goods? But, really when it comes down to it, travelers still want to travel.
Yeah.
A good conversation that took place today that I overheard was it's the appreciation and the willingness to pay. And we're getting to that price point to where our guests are starting to see a little bit of difference between the price they pay and the value that they get.
That's right. I love that you say that. I'm sorry to cut you off because I get really excited about that because I want everyone to be able to get the most money they can every night for a room.
Yeah.
But with expenses climbing so much and therefore room rates climbing so much over this last year or two, I'm starting to feel some resistance from people if they don't feel like they're getting that.
Yeah. I think so. The room rates themselves, one of the things that we're really focusing on is creating a democratization or an accessibility to the right types of revenue strategies for independent hoteliers and really hoteliers of all size, class, and types. And so I think that's a real focus for us is getting to a point where you can use the purpose-built technology to help the hoteliers get to that efficiency level that they really need to help with their margin erosion.
Right, because it's interesting because while there is resistance to pricing, there's still a place to be able to push that pricing as well under the right circumstances at the right times. One of the areas that I'm seeing, for example, is this huge explosion of growth of people to go seeing live music, right?
Yeah.
And if you know something like that is coming into the town, that Taylor Swift effect, then you're going to be able to hopefully, utilizing systems that you have to offer, for example, the ability to maximize opportunity on any given day.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that we've really focused on is building throughout the stack revenue optimization. So for example, for some of the larger franchise groups, we've actually just rolled out a product called Portfolio Navigator.
Right.
That is, it's G3 based, but what that does is it allows for automation by the cluster and the portfolio revenue manager to see that effect and make adjustments in real time. Now, for the service economy segments and limited service economy segments, we actually we've released a product called Elevate. And Elevate can be provided with a PMS integration through Oracle or HT&G or no PMS integration. So that's available if you go to ideas.com/elevate. You can sign up and you can be a first mover because that's how we can get to a point where these hoteliers understand how to handle their competitive rate sets, understand how they need to price competitively, and when they need to make those changes.
One of the things that I'm finding, though, is hoteliers are so freaking busy all the time, right? So sometimes this is one of those good intentions things.
That's right.
If it's too complicated, then how do you get people on board? How are you avoiding that particular
Make it mobile first. And so, that's one of the things that we really have to take into consideration. So we have spent years talking with independent hoteliers, with franchisees, with franchisors, and understanding the needs of what a hotel owner, like general manager, needs to have, and it's in the palm of their hand, being able to make decisions quickly.
Yeah, I know. I've seen this type of technology before, right? I love the idea of being able to make those decisions while maybe standing on the side of the field cheering your kid on in a sporting event,
Absolutely.
for example, right? So all of these things open up the opportunity to be more successful when possible.
Absolutely. I think when you come down to it, the speed of the decision and the intelligence of the decision that you need to make is tantamount. So you're able to feel comfortable about controlling your narrative, your price, and how you can run the bottom line of your business.
Right.
So, taking all those things into consideration, it was one of our most important pieces. How do you go about your day? How do you build your daily schedule? How do you build your book? How do you handle overbooking? It's all those things taken into the consideration of putting ourselves behind the front desk as an owner-operator.
Yeah, that is so absolutely important. So what is the vibe of the crowd here today, in your opinion, when it comes to trying to figure out these new ways to maximize revenue opportunities?
The vibe, I think the vibe is it's almost like if you think of a wave that's cresting.
Right.
People know that they're going to be able to take advantage of things like purpose-built AI, generative AI, to be able to drive the guest experience. But they are so excited about how they can continue to drive their profitability by using all of the technologies in place, whether it be upgrading to above the property CMS CRS, or PMS CRS, or going into revenue management. There are more tools now than ever to make your hotel operate like a finely tuned machine that doesn't necessarily always depend on having a plethora of staff.
Right. And that is right there the key, because I'm finding that people are still short-staffed. Although I would argue after 4 years of being short-staffed, maybe that's just the actual staffing level you're ever going to get. Yeah. So you need to compensate in different ways. And that's why I love where we're going with technology. That's why I love where we're going with your systems, because you take off so much of the intensity of having to spend all of the time finding success.
Yeah, it's about quality.
Right.
Quality of time in what you do to be able to drive your business rather than having to do everything in a non-automated way.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So how could people who are looking to improve their revenue strategies really think about all the different solutions that are out there, and why is yours the one that they should be focused on?
Well, I think it comes down to that. It's understanding that we've been doing this now as almost as long as AAHOA has been around. It's the 35th year of AAHOA.
35th year of AAHOA. 32nd year for you guys?
34.
34. Jeez.
1989. 35. Yeah. But so, the thing is we've been building these algorithms and understanding how hotels work, and we innately understand how to be able to drive that.
Yeah.
But more importantly is that we do this with the hotel and the hotelier at the heart of it. Our services, the way that we provide support, the way that we provide training, it's not just around the technology, but it's around all the things that we do to make our clients and our hotels part of the Ideas family.
Now, you've had a lot of experience focus on all the major brands. I feel like you've got all of those wrapped up. Yep. You're focusing on these independent hoteliers. What's the difference between the independent-minded hotelier versus more of a traditional hospitality investor as it comes to what you're able to offer?
It's a really good question. I mean, in the end, everybody is trying to get to a point to where you're able to drive dollars.
Right.
And our main, like what we see as the main difference is that in many cases with the independent hoteliers, they're doing this to be able to run their own business, right? They're doing it because they have the right mentality. They may own one property, they may own 2 properties, 3 properties, or 10, but they run that because that is their main source of income. And it's a bit of a misnomer that we only service the largest brands. We have over 850 hotel companies as clients and over 31,000 installations globally, and about 40% of that are independent hoteliers.
Wow, that's much bigger than I ever would have thought. So by the time you see this, we might be done with the whole, but I love the booth over here. That's pretty awesome. Where can we find you on the road this fall?
You can find me. This
fall. It's the spring.
Well,
almost the fall.
Well, it's show. We're going to be at High Tech.
Yeah.
We're going to be at the Commercial Strategy Conference. You're going to see some of us at NYU. And then we're going to be making our way through Navigate and other types of partnership conferences.
Awesome. That's fantastic. How can we learn more? How can we find you guys?
You can find us at ideas.com. You want to check out what we have to offer at ideas.com/elevate. If you're interested, you can sign up to be one of the first to know.
I love it. And come see us at High Tech. Big news. My partner Anthony and I are going to be doing the opening keynote speech for High Tech. Then I'll probably be going to hang out with these guys over there. So be sure you subscribe to our newsletter. Text the word hotel to 66866. Thanks for watching. So for Mike and myself, have a great day.
Great day.